USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
At Starbucks, we've more than doubled paid parental leave, now up to 18 weeks. Which means Starbucks baristas can spend more time with the best company they know, their families. At Starbucks, benefits like parental leave are just the start.
Brooks Running reminds us that we're all powered by something. Whether it's the me-time energy of a run after a day at the office, the electrifying energy of your first marathon, or the infectious energy of a group run with your friends. No matter what energy powers you, Brooks has gear specifically designed to unleash it. So lace up and let it out. Let's run there. Visit brooksrunning.com today to learn more.
You're the owner of a small business, which means you could use another pair of hands, like the experts at Verizon Small Business Days, August 11th through 17th. Get a free tech check and special deals like a free 5G phone. You know you want one. Call 1-800-483-4428 or visit verizon.com/smallbusiness to book your appointment. Verizon Business. Available for select 5G phones. New line device payment agreement and select data plan required. Credit applied to account over agreement term up to 36 months. Terms apply. Offer ends 8/17/2025.
Welcome into the Tour Coach, everybody. I'm your host, Tony Ruggiero. Thanks for sitting in. If you're passionate about the game of golf, you love the game of golf, whether you're a coach, a teacher, or a player, recreational golfer, touring professional, aspiring to get better, I think some of the information you're about to hear can help you. These are the conversations with the people that I meet, the coaches that I teach with that I find interesting, the caddies, the fitness experts, mental coaches, or players or students that I meet in my journey to help all of you play better golf. And these are the conversations we have. They're authentic, they're real, you'll laugh, some will make you think. All of it is designed to help you play better golf. I hope you enjoy these conversations, and if you like these, look, you can always go find more of our content, which is available for you on YouTube, on Dew Sweeper TV. That's at Dew Sweeper TV on YouTube. All of these, you can watch the video, but you can also watch some of our productions where you can watch us go one-on-one behind the scenes with a real player as we all work together to help people play their best. So check out Dew Sweeper TV. Please keep listening to the Tour Coach here. I hope you like the conversations. I'm enjoying putting the stuff out, and I enjoy this journey helping all of you play better golf. And once again, though, none of this would be remotely possible without our long-time sponsors, especially Cleveland Shrixon Golf, Mitch McConnell and McConnell Automotive, Buick GMC, Bushnell, Stokely's Midtown Garden Center, Taylor Martino and Rowan in Mobile, all of the great sponsors, and especially our new one, because there's going to be some fun nights ahead, Epic Western Tequila Drink, coming at you live from Texas. So appreciate our sponsors, appreciate all the people that sit and chat with me, and we're going to look forward to bringing you more tour coaches and more content as we help all of us play better golf there on Dew Sweeper TV. So first podcast we've done with the Epic Westerns right out here.
Heck yeah.
Cheers, Zach. Cheers, good to have you. Good to have you,
Maliz.
Yeah, cheers. Everybody. Epic Western, thanks for all the support. We're going to be doing some more Epic Western events here on the Tour Coach and all that. I got some stuff planned. I can't tell you all about it. It's mainly because I don't know what I'm doing yet. But anyway, so we came up with this. Nick, you and Salad Boy were coming back into town and filming. You're always going to be Salad Boy. Would you? Better.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to call him Little Salad Bitch.
Okay.
Right, so he's down with some chicken wings tonight.
You gonna have chicken wings? I love it.
He also took that little shank today to the leg.
He did take a shank.
Yeah, that's
Joey
true.
Believe.
Took it like a champ.
Yeah.
That's gotta add up a little bit.
So here's
look, you get drilled.
At least he didn't
really
hit
see it. It was right there. See how my legs?
Who hit you? Boat drink. This tastes like summer.
Oh yeah. Joey, little hosel rocking right into him.
Takes me out of it.
through that.
Anyways, that's summer.
This tastes like summer.
How you doing? You in the mood?
I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, so we got Maliz here from over at Admirals. We don't let him inside the gates of Old Palm, but so we had to meet him out here. Mark Hackett, Nick Dimengo, Salad Boy. We're never going to let you use your real name. You're going to be your Salad Boy. Nathan Jolly right over here, longtime student of mine who kind of got out of golf a little bit. Then he won a few scrambles, and now he's back. And
Glow Ball. He won a Glow Ball tournament, I think.
He won a Glow Ball tournament. And Zach Sukert, former PGA Tour, Korn Ferry Tour. We've worked together forever. And we're going to talk a little bit about – this is a great place to start with Zach Sukert. So you've been around a bunch of teachers.
Yeah.
You played for a living and now teach. You've been around a bunch of teachers. I've been around a bunch of teachers. Zach is going from playing to transitioning into teaching. What would be the advice we'd give him from what we've seen starting out, from what we've seen other people
especially where you dealt with that.
So you go ahead and start, Maliz. Here, and use it's my $4 microphone. I'd appreciate it. I don't even want to know where you got that.
The advice I think that one issue I see with teachers that kind of get into, or players that get into teaching, is they tend to look and teach with all the bad shit they do. So they're kind of fixed in one area. They don't see the other. And I think to be a great teacher, you have to have an open mind. You have to be able to look at different parts. I see that when I talk to ex-players that want to get into teaching. They kind of look at the areas that they struggle with, whatever that might be.
Okay. That makes sense.
But, I think you got to be open to every idea. You got to listen to absolutely everyone, and you don't have to agree with them. You have to at least listen and kind of create your own views and your own opinions.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That's great.
And I think the key, too, is not to be – most good players teach them what they're working on, too.
Yeah, you're stuck in the same window for so long. You've been focused on the few things that you struggle with, doing them over and over and over again. And, that's all you look at for 15 years. Yeah, that's right.
You're like,
watch the language. We're at Hurricanes. This is a wholesome place. Do I want to read the text you sent me and Nick about?
Yeah.
I get that completely. That's an issue because you know what you hate about your swing.
Right.
Like I look at my swing on video and I'm like, oh my God, that. And then you can't be like that.
Everybody else is unique. Yeah.
So Nick, you've been around a bunch of great teachers on the top 100 list. From what you've watched, like you're an aspiring player that wants to get a lot better. So you've also, and I don't mean this negative. I'm sure there's been some lessons and people you like, shit, that wasn't any good.
Yeah.
So I think you can learn from that too. So what advice? This is going to turn into Zach's help session.
Yeah.
And we're giving you therapy.
Steal what you just said when we were over there. First, you have to be a good communicator. And you have to listen and understand how the student likes to be talked to. There are a lot of people out there who do my job very well. But
not as good as you.
But they do it at a very technical level. For somebody who I don't talk scratch golfer, right? And so you and I actually had the privilege of working out there together.
Yeah.
And we got off the course, and my buddy and I were like, it's fucking awesome. The way you communicated it, and we're able to say, here's why you have to take a divot from this. Here's where you simple little setup, flare your feet out, right? Those things are easy tips. And I think the last part of all that you clearly had was your passion and enthusiasm behind it. You shared so much knowledge because you were like, I want to, I'm geeked up to tell you that I know how to hit this to
that's
make
contagious.
you better. And that is contagious, big time.
Okay, well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
No, that's
because you can't fake that passion, right? If you're just so bring it back and do this, you guys all have that as top teachers, and you treat every single player in there, regardless of their skill level or what their goal is, with the same, not only accountability, but like same enthusiasm, whether you're picking up the club for the first time or you're trying to get on the PGA Tour, right? So, I mean, that's what separates you guys from other teachers.
I think one of the hardest things will be is the stuff that you're not thinking about, which is the simple stuff like how to format a lesson, like how do I start it, how do I finish it, right? Like how do I work my way?
Exactly.
Because there is like a, when I say art form, but like guys have done it a long time, and it's interesting when I sit and watch other teachers. Like it's interesting. Everybody has their own little way of doing it, right? But like, you know, I've watched guys that were great players, great putter, right, teach a lesson on putting green and like early on and not know how to wrap it up, right? Like, you know, I mean, and I think that's part of the learning process, and I think you can do a lot by just in the early stages when you're not so crazy busy, just watching other people teach that have taught a lot, right? Because I just don't think there's any substitute for having taught a lot.
Actually,
you know, just watching it, you'll pick and choose the things you like that they do, and then you'll be like, going to what Nick said, like that doesn't fit my personality, so that's a bad fit, right? And then I think you kind of find your water level of how you do it.
Get a good mentor, right? I mean, wouldn't you guys say?
We all. And if I'll find somebody for you. I don't know anybody.
Well, the key too is not to teach, overteach.
Yeah.
But we were talking, you said the same thing from all the lessons you were given over the years.
Hank said something to me once. I was like, I hadn't been there that long. And he watched me teach. And, he stood at the back, and I was about to shit myself. And you know, and then he said to me at the end, he said, "You don't have to tell person everything you know about the golf swing in the first 40 minutes." And I was like, you know, and I was devastated. And he said one of the things that when you're starting, you're getting paid $100 or $200, whatever it is, and like that's a lot of money to you, and you want to make sure they're getting their money's worth. So one of the faults is to just keep talking, right? And then he told me one of the things I'll never forget. He said one of the hardest things in a lesson is to know when to shut the fuck up. That's what he said to me. Like, and we were doing that today.
We're talking about it's easy because they're not going to practice most of the time.
Yeah.
So you give them a key of pivot or load or
right.
some setup.
So I think that like you know, and I think you'll get better at it as you go. But like you go in there and you find the thing you think's most important and you stay on it. But as they're getting it, you just don't keep giving them stuff and keep spewing things, right?
I think one of the best things that I've ever heard is when you look at, and what we are is we're golf instructors, but we're coaches, right? And great coaches say a lot with few words.
Yeah.
So they don't just water it all down.
That's right.
They're very specific. They say few words, but those words that aren't, just rambling on.
Yeah.
Hold so much information.
So you brought up a good point there, Hack, that I don't want to know your guys' answers so that you could kind of be very realistic. You mentioned a lot of times guys don't go practice, right? Like I've left lessons. I mean, like that feels good, but when do I apply it? The next time I go play 18, I don't have time to go to a country club and practice and grind, right? Yeah. So like, how do you guys deal with that to help him? They'd be like, all right, you may have left him with me as a student 3 goals for the week, and next week I come, you're like, bro, you didn't even touch these goals. And like, well, work got in the way. How do you guys, for him to adapt, be like, how do you still have value for that next lesson to be like, I don't want to repeat myself, but we need to have the foundation to keep going?
I think we saw it today with Colby. We give him like bands and different things so he can.
So you bring in like
isolate that the issue of inefficiency of pivot or stabilization of one leg or the other or the hip.
So you almost take the ball
I think
away.
It's more of an evaluation of their body, what they can do and what direction they need to head towards.
I give every student when they come to me, like we all have these phones now, like one I couldn't figure out how to work a little bit ago. Thanks to Salad Boy, though, tech support, New Sweeper tech support. I film them doing 2 or 3 of their exercises or drills, and then I text them to them at the end of the lesson, right? And, I try to always have them leave with at least one, but maybe 2 or 3 drills, exercises, whatever it is that they got to do on their own. But I also think that when I explained it to them, when they come back, we should still be working on the same stuff, because there's no way in hell you mastered it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? And second of all, that's your golf DNA. It's what you're always going to have to work on, right? Your pivot's always going to suck. It's always going to slide, right? I don't mean it's always going to suck. It's going to keep getting better, but in some form or fashion, you're going to be working on it, right? And because it causes other things. So I think it's okay if you explain on the front end to a person, hey, this is what your problem is. It's the biggest thing, causes the other stuff. We're going to stay on this a while until you get it.
Who says you can't be the topic of conversation for all the right reasons? The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid pairs bold presence with advanced technology and sleek style. It's everything you didn't know you needed in an SUV and then some. Okay, Hyundai. Visit HyundaiUSA.com to learn more.
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar, zero patience for slow walkers, those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night, have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Yeah, it could be a while. Yeah, that's right. Like years.
Look how long we worked on the same shit.
Exactly. And I had my good moments, and if I focused on anything else, I crept back in every time.
You said shorter and smaller, slower.
I was actually kind of blown away today with that lesson, the first lesson there, where I thought he took it back way too far and crossed the line, and y'all didn't, with zero turn. And you never even addressed him taking it back past parallel and all this stuff extra. But if he did what you wanted him to do,
which lesson was it?
This was with
Joey.
Joey.
The fact his swing was still long.
Well, he would turn, but he would never quit taking it. He'd finish his turn finally.
You talking about Joey? Yeah, skinny.
But you never even commented on. What I thought when I first looked at it, I was like, that's a huge problem. But if he did the things you said, where the club kept hanging at the ball, then he wouldn't do it either. He wouldn't actually cross. So
because the club went long and across because he never hinged.
Because he never hinged there, yeah.
And then he didn't turn, right? So then once we, Hack did great putting his grip on there. And then, like I said in the thing, I thought one of the biggest things he got out of, we're talking about skinny Joey now, but one of the biggest things he got out of that lesson was he went from hitting balls, raking them, to each swing he had a process he went through. Once Hack gave him the grip process and Colby gave him the turn, and I kind of talked to him about structure, then he was doing it. Do you notice every ball he put the club in front of him, he did this,
it every time,
and he made one rehearsal doing it perfect,
striped,
right?
Yep.
And he was doing it every time. So to me, the biggest thing he got out of that was at least a process.
Yes.
So now he's got a process to get better and how to practice. And I think a lot of people make excuses for saying they don't have time to practice and they don't have time to do this, because they really went the way they've practiced, they haven't gotten anything out of it.
Yeah,
right?
they just go ahead.
So they just
don't
it's not worth it, so I'm not going to do it. But if you show them a benefit like this, and you explain to them why they're fixing it and how to monitor it, I think they'll put a little time in it. Or they wouldn't be coming.
We went out in the course. He did the same thing too.
Yeah,
he did the same calls, and he did unbelievable. Yeah, like that. Like he went from hitting it, got good balls,
fine too
in a day. Like it was impressive.
Now they band-aid themselves by bearing the ball, and instead of moving it up forward, instead they try to get them to drive through, pivot through.
Yeah, I think one thing too that you have to, when I give a lesson, I can pretty much tell within the first 15 minutes if this person's going to be able to adapt to a change or not.
Yeah,
you're going to get those people, right? So now, if this person doesn't change, how do I make them better?
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to find that what I find is the better players like yourself. There are certain people that they can adapt and go to change, and then you're going to have other people that don't.
If they don't, do you just do a Band-Aid solution for it? No.
What you do is how do I back? I mean, if you look at the end of this, what are they trying to get better? How can I make this person better if they're not willing to change the swing? Well, if you're dealing with a tour player, they got to make changes. If you're dealing with a club golfer, you got to really start to educate them. Like I always, if we have a member or something, I go, let me ask something. How far do you hit your 7-iron? Well, I hit it at 135. Okay. You know how far I hit mine? I go, no. I go 172 to 160. I go, what do you mean? I go, well, if I pop it, it's 172, and I'm going to miss hit it all the way down to 160. Okay.
Yeah.
So just with that education of taking them out on the golf course, right? So now if they're not going to change, you got to make them better. But you're going to come across that, so you're going to have to know how to deal with that.
Okay.
The people that change, they're great. I call them the 1%ers. These are club golf tour players. They have, that they have to change. They want to get better. But if not, how am I going to make them better? Because at the end of the day, if you're going to teach for a living, you better make them better.
Better make them better.
You got to make them better,
That's
and they'll
right.
pay anything to get better.
Yeah.
If I have somebody,
See results. Yeah.
if I get somebody that says they don't want
results.
to change their swing, so I'm more of a dick, right? But I am.
What are you doing here?
Coming from someone who's taken lessons with all of you guys, and I asked you, Hack, today when we got here. Last time I saw you guys was 7 months ago. I was like, I think we're better than we were 7 months ago. And you guys both say yes, right? How do you deal with the person who, like myself, can feel I'm getting more distance? I have a better process. I'm hitting more fairways. I'm not slicing it. And there's this inconsistency. Obviously, irons and short game, all that stuff, inconsistent. But how do you deal with someone who's saying, I know I'm getting better, but my scores aren't reflecting it? Because so many people come in and say, bro, I'm spending
that goes to exactly what
right?
Liz was just saying. And Zach's seats, like they don't have a clue how to play.
No clue how
I
to
always tell people that I teach, I go, listen, if you take my head, put it on your body, and we go out and play, I got all your I don't want to say talent, but whatever you have.
Not much.
You're going to shoot 8 to 10 shots lower. Now, why?
Because you're thinking better.
It's not just thinking better. It's my knowledge of understanding. I understand that I don't hit these 7-iron, a specific yardage.
Strategic.
All course management, decision making.
It's so much more.
It's understanding that if I put myself, it's funny. I'll take somebody. I took a guy out today, and I put him in a bad spot. I go, all right. So what are you going to do here? So he says, well, I'm just going to chip shot, dead downhill, water on the other side. He goes, I'm just going to pop this up, put it just on the fringe, and then let it trickle down to the hole. And I'm going, where are we going? I said, all right. So now let me ask you this. You and I are playing the member guest. You got to get down in 3 for us to win. What are you going to do? He goes, oh, shit. I'm going to pitch it over here, get it on the green and 2-putt. I said, all right. So now let me ask you. This shot, from 1 is the easiest, 10 is the toughest. What would you say with your skill set? How tough is this shot? He goes, oh shit, that's a 10. I go, why are you trying to hit a hero shot that you can't hit because you're not that good? We're not going to make those mistakes.
Yeah.
Because we're just lowering your higher number.
And I think it goes a lot into confidence on top of that. If you have the right thought process behind every shot, you're confident in that it's the right decision, and you make a confident swing. You see so many people that get up and aim at the pin when there's water right, and are like, get the ball left, because they're aiming horribly. They're doing everything about it horribly and hoping they hit a good shot instead of saying, like, this is the right play and doing it. And it's so much easier to hit a good shot when you know it's right.
Yeah, it's the knowledge. It's not the skill.
Exactly.
Well, one of the things I want you to talk about it because you're going to explain it to me. But obviously we're in Florida, so the grain, the grass, right? And I, again, stupid amateur, I throw a ball down, I turn to him, I'm like, I'm going to hit an awesome flop shot here. And I put the ball down. He goes, well, I'm just going to let you know, like, the way the grain is, this is going to make an already difficult shot so much more difficult because you're against the grain. So, like, you know,
high, soft shot.
Like, going to be very difficult.
Yeah,
right?
That's not skill, that's knowledge.
That's knowledge.
So
exactly.
talk through like what you said about using the grain versus, and that's what I'm saying is like it echoes what you're saying, right? Like,
if you watch every pro, and actually any probably around the scratch golfer, first thing they do, they walk up, they put the club behind the ball, and is before they even like really look at where they're trying to land it or the shot they're trying to hit. But they're just judging the lie. They're seeing where the grain is the ball sitting up or down. And then once they gather that, then they go to the green and say, okay, I'm landing it into the grain on an upslope here, or I can take that hill out of play by carrying it further. But you have to judge the lie first before you even go into the shot. Because you can say, like, you get a tee down grain, you can hit every shot you know how to hit off of it. You get a crappy lie into the grain, you're down to like probably only 30% of the shots you would even ever want to try to hit. And
exactly.
So I think like the knowledge of looking at the shot, basing your lie for the shot that you want to hit again is the first step to every shot. Okay. Anyone's ever hit it. You have to do it.
I agree. All right, last question. Who wants to ask last question? Nick, throw us one more good one.
Come on, Nick.
okay, here's a good. I hope a good one. Go back, all three of you guys, your first year as teachers. Now, fast forward to now. What's the biggest lesson each of you guys have learned between being a wide-eyed, bushy-tailed teacher to being a top 100 teacher? Biggest lesson or biggest regret, even. Like, what's your biggest regret that you didn't do with a student?
I mean, for me, I don't know that I would even look at it that way. I would look at it as what is different now. I think I understand people. I understand the person in front of me, and I know how to communicate, and I know how to get my point across. That was the difference between when I first started. I didn't. It was just, this is the way you got to do it. It's one way.
Yeah.
To now, I can work my way around that. But that comes, as Tony says, you can't beat experience.
You can't get 10 years of experience in one day, less than 10 years. You can make the most of it, but you can't.
I think it's back to communication, what he's saying, and leaving there with video and summing up video to understand it's clear and any questions.
Yeah.
So they're not leaving confused.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I've learned that I had a lot of help with, though, and I think was why I did okay, was when I started teaching, I got to understand 2 or 3 things like that I really thought were important in the golf swing. And there's going to be people that say don't teach methods and you shouldn't and all that. But I stayed in those 3 things until I started to develop understanding and seeing cause and effect from other things. I think the worst thing you can do is go out there and just fling from the hip and try to guess and help each person. Now, if you have a little bit of a, like a thing that you teach and people in the beginning might say he teaches all this, like there is going to be a few people you can't teach. But if you're slinging from the hip, you're fucking not helping anybody, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But you teach within the things you know that are important in work, and you stay in those. I taught the same shit for 8 years to every single person. Grip, posture, pivot. Make a divot for the ball. That's all I did.
And just like remember
Until I could figure other
right?
shit out. And I remember I went to Hank one time and asked another question, and he said, "You're not ready. Go back." I was like, "It's been 6 years."
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever it was, right? Like, but I think that made me I never taught anything until I understood. I think that's
that is good. Really
don't teach anything until you really understand. You get all these guys. We did this thing that first time when Dan had me over with the swing catalyst. This was right the day before I got to 50. Anyway, so I remember some assistant was like, we went through the whole thing. How teaching was like, well, what do you tell them about verticals? And I was like, you don't know anything about verticals. Why would you teach them? Right? He goes, what about the guy that's verticals are better, but he's standing up close? Right? So you want him to stand more and hit it worse? Right? Like we want to shank it more? We want to shank it harder. We want to create more speed to shank it. Anyways, that's the end of my soapbox. Did that help some tonight?
No, that was great. I enjoyed all of today, and I've watched you teach for a while. And I feel like I'm very good at identifying the problem. It's like you were saying, it's being able to communicate the correct way to fix it is the hardest part. To say he'll react to this, and like today with the bands that Colby did, you sit there trying to work on his hip turn, and watching him
first he couldn't even pull the band.
He would try to pull it up. He wouldn't pull it. He wasn't using his turns at all.
He started going like this.
And I was blown away.
I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna have a.
No, it was incredible.
Skinny.
It was actually incredible. Like within a minute, he figured out oh yeah, that doesn't work. I actually have to turn.
It was
and
crazy.
He did it with his swing immediately. That was an incredible way.
That's
to show
why using those bands is
how to
so
do
good.
it. I enjoyed that a lot. Seeing that. So
Where can you get one of those bands?
Oh, I can't even believe you remember
sell
that.
these bands.
But Pivot Pack, they're on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Pivot Pack on Amazon. Look it up; it'll help you too. First thing you ought to do is buy you a Pivot Pack.
I'm getting a Pivot Pack
before you get a TrackMan. Get you a damn Pivot Pack.
Yes.
All right, and then before we go, we got to thank Stephanie and the folks here at Hurricanes. If you're down here on PGA and you come in on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, there's a 92% chance you'll see me at that table right over there eating my 8 chicken fingers, playing with ranch, barbecue, and an order of tater tots. And an Epic Western, because next time I come into Hurricanes, they're going to have Epic Western.